start by welcoming all of you to Chennai and to this very important event, and to thank the organizers, including from our side, from the government side, the Secretary MSME, Arun Roy IAS, TNFM CEO Sivaraja, my fellow ministers, the MSME Minister and Senior Minister Thiru Anbarasan, the IT Minister Thiru Manoj Thangaraj, the many office bearers of FeTNA, all of you entrepreneurs, domestic, NRIs, Tamilians from around the world, I welcome you all. I thank you for your interest, for your participation, for your ideas, and for inviting me to be part of this event today. In many ways, we are at a very interesting juncture in our country and in our state. We have seen unprecedented volatility economically, societally, through the pandemic. We have seen what was once a very promising trajectory of growth slide significantly. In Tamil Nadu, the fiscal situation deteriorated so much that our capacity to build infrastructure has been structurally reduced. We used to be a state that at one point spent 3% of our GDP every year on infrastructure in capital expenses. That came down to as low as 1%. And what that has done is decayed the capacity to build, the capacity to execute. As we improve the fisc year over year, we are struggling to increase the execution capacity because those things don't get turned on overnight. It takes a while. Most of all, it takes innovation and it takes great partnership. We cannot achieve the ambitions we have, the Honorable Chief Minister's ambitions about a 1 trillion economy, doing the same things with the same people. We need new ideas, we need new execution capability, we need innovation, and we need the support of the broader Tamil diaspora, entrepreneurs and specialists like you, who bring not just ideas but also execution capability and track records of having been there and done that in other parts of the world. In the government, we are very clear that very soon our biggest constraint will not be money. Like other large organizations, we have ways of providing the necessary financing under almost any circumstance. But we're also equally clear that we cannot keep doing the same things we used to do and expect to get better outcomes. So we have to do a lot of things differently. In the startup side, as you know, we have already created TANSIM. We also have a special in the year 22-23 fiscal year, a 30 crore fund to provide funding to members of the Adi Dravida and Palangudina communities. And I am very happy to say the quality of applications for those grants or capital investments is amazingly good. We think we're going to announce a few of the deals in the next couple of weeks. We have also started a seed investment fund under the Tamil Nadu Infrastructure Fund Management Corporation, which I chair. This was the off-balance sheet funding vehicle that was the brainchild of a former Chief Minister, but 7 years that entity made really no progress and never achieved any real investment. So after we came, we spent a year clearing it up, getting all the old kind of deadwood out, closing out some of the funds, reimbursing the investors, and starting in a new initiative, the Green Fund that you just saw announced a couple of days ago, the Seed Investment Fund, and so forth. I'm pleased to say again we're seeing really spectacularly good applications, and we hope to be equity partners in as many great enterprises as we can. The government also does something I think no other government at least does consciously, starting about a year ago after I had visited the CIA Connect in the October or November of last year of 21. I had suggested that we should set up a cell to government day because the government of Tamil Nadu needs so much innovation in its own processes, in its own data systems, in its own application of our ambitions of social justice and equity, that we should find a way to bring Tamil Nadu startups and Tamil driven startups as our vendors. We passed a legislation to remove the regular Tender Transparency Act requirements so that such startups can get funding. And I'm very happy to say that under the IT ministers and secretaries' oversight, several such days have already been run for the Social Welfare Development Department, for other departments, and we are leveraging these investments or these innovations in a big way. For example, in the Greater Chennai Corporation, we have had a 100% drone survey using some very innovative technology to identify whether the drone-based square footage of the property matches the property records in the tax base. And we're finding that in almost 25% of the residences, that is not the case. So we have then step 2, step 3 of trying to find a resolution to these discrepancies. Also in the pilot breakfast program that the Honorable Chief Minister started a few months ago, in the urban areas, we are greatly leveraging the automation in cooking and IoT, and we're doing touchless, high hygiene, programmed cooking for breakfast in the urban schools. So these are some of the ways we are applying the technology ourselves. I can tell you that we have a long way to go. One of the biggest problems with government is that our infrastructure is archaic. We have very little by way of institutional memory. Files still move by paper. There is no automatic recall. There is no permanent employee. Politicians get elected in and out every 5 years. Senior officers change departments as little as few months, certainly no longer than a few years. And so there is very little institutional continuity in the government, and this is something that technology can solve for us in a very effective way. So we are starting to leverage better platforms for institutional memory, for continuous tracking, for cross-referencing, for data mining, for identifying beneficiaries and validating the economic circumstances for those that we provide government benefits. Tamil Nadu is the only state in the country that has a universal public distribution system. In a state of slightly less than 8 crore people, we have 2.38 crore family ration cards. That's almost universal coverage. And we provide lots of benefits, including Pongal gift hamper. But we also know, at least from our preliminary discussions in Delhi, that there are almost 48 lakh income taxpayers in Tamil Nadu, resident in Tamil Nadu. Then this raises the question, if somebody is well off enough to be paying income tax, are these really the people that we should be providing these great subsidies to? Or are there more effective ways of targeting? In the absence of information, we have to do the kind of blunt force approach. But I would say that a fundamental component of economic justice is progressivity. Like we tax at a higher slab for those who make more money, we should be providing greater subsidies and greater benefits for those at the bottom of the pyramid and less as we go up. And we need data, information, cross-referencing for that. Again, we've taken a lot of innovative approaches. I would say the application of cross-referencing and data cleanup has saved us in the last 18 months of our government well north of 15,000 crores in funds that we otherwise would have spent if we had not been able to get this clarity. So, in so many ways, from deep tech to data mining to cross-referencing to innovation to IoT, we, the government of Tamil Nadu ourselves, speaking as an administrator, are deeply interested in improving the way we function. And there's a huge role that startups can play in that. Let me take that to the next step and say that we cannot create the kind of value addition and employment in our state, which has the highest ratio, gross enrollment ratio in tertiary education, without intellectual, technical, specialized jobs. I think we have a window of opportunity based on the China plus one strategy, based on the shift of financial services from Hong Kong, based on the big boom in fintech in which already Chennai companies are playing a big part. We have a highly inefficient financial services industry in India. I think fintech can prove remarkable improvements, can generate remarkable improvements. And especially in the areas of credit, consumer access, and validation or referral of MSMEs and their credit worthiness. I think there's a huge amount of opportunity in blockchain technology and broadly in fintech. And I'm sure that with the correct team that we have in place, with Tansem, with the Seed Investment Fund and its investment committee, with the special funds for entrepreneurs, with the MSME secretary, with Mr. Sivaraja, we are well on our way. We hope that you will find it easy to work with us. We hope that you will find the government is very responsive to your needs in ways we can support you. And if we are not, please let us know. We are very keen that we should be seen as one of the best places to invest with great ease of doing business. And we see the Tamil diaspora, especially people like you, as one of the greatest strengths and the foundation of our belief that we can now change the paradigm and definitely hit the 14-15% nominal growth rate that is required for us to get to 1 trillion. So with that, let me thank you all once again for coming here, for your efforts, for your future endeavors. Let me wish you all the best. And I hope you have a fun couple of days here. And I hope your event in Sacramento is a huge success. Thank you very much.